Here we go. We are getting started and we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to All Things Self Mastery. I am Venus Agoddess. I am a self mastery mentor and solutionist. I've been teaching for 15 plus years, teaching you all the psychology behind why you do what you do so you can start creating new behavior patterns, hence attracting the people, places, and things you actually want in your life. And this evening, we're just gonna get into a little bit discussion and some facts. I like to stick with the facts and the reasons why. The why. I'm all about the why. We're gonna be talking about justifying poor behaviors. So as you come in, if you are on TikTok, welcome, 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 my loves. If you are in YouTube land, welcome, welcome, my loves. If you are on Facebook, welcome, welcome, my loves. It's going to be a nice discussion. Feel free to type in a question or comment or just simply share your perspective as we move along with this evening's topic. They are all welcome. If you are joining me in TT's and YT world, make sure you drop a comment. Just say, hey, peace, I'm here getting this lesson. It's gonna be quick. Pharaoh, how are you, my love? Peace, peace, peace. So before anytime I go live, I like to ask a question to get the topic rolling and us into the discussion. By a show of hands, put a one in the comment if you at some point or are currently if you think you've become desensitized to people's poor behaviors. What do I mean? Have you become desensitized and senseless and mindless in a way to people treating you poorly? I'm talking about disrespect. I mean, I know it's true because look at all the conversations that we have in love, respect, and peace, Empress. This is the first time you popped up in my live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I know and many of us know there's a lot of discussions, right? The reason why I know, not just believe, that many of us have become desensitized to other people's poor behavior, them treating us poorly, or even us treating ourselves poorly, is because this is a polarized conversation, right? We're constantly talking about the disrespect that we receive from others. We constantly talking about people not taking accountability and responsibility in our lives, right? We're constantly talking about, who did this and who didn't do this, right? However, I like to always get to the core of things, right? I'm an onion type of girl mentally. I process things by getting to the core, the catalyst of these things, because until you understand the why, you're not going to know the how to change certain things. So by one, put a one in the comments if you've been this person. I definitely have been this person, so I'll just I'll just raise my hand. Mwah. Cooking with Rosie, thank you so much for the heart. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Infinite gratitude, right? How many of us have become desensitized to people treating us? Thank you so much, Pharaoh. Infinite gratitude. Thank you. Love you, love you, love you. That's sweet of you. Thank you so much, right? And so I like to get to the why of things, right? Because here's what I noticed. Many of us are repeating so many unhealthy behaviors, right? Many of us are on this perpetual hamster wheel, right? And we're having so many discussions about the issues, about the problems, even about the solutions. However, I'm not seeing a big enough change, which leads me to know that many of us don't understand the why, not to the level and the degree in which we actually should, right? Not only are many of us really unfamiliar of who we are in our core essence, I'm talking about not just physically, I'm talking about spiritually and not religiously, right? Not man-made religion, not in that way, but we are part mental, we are part soul, spirit, and we are also part mental, right? Pardon me. And so a lot of us really don't understand the why we do what we do. We don't understand the psychological effects, right? What drives us to actually especially to do the things we do, especially when it comes to allowing people to treat us poorly, right? We're hearing the conversations, right? We're hearing the conversations in the manosphere, quote unquote. We're hearing the conversations in a woman's sphere, quote unquote. We're hearing all of these debates, and we're hearing women warring against men, and we're hearing men warring against women, right? And it's all about they did this and they did that, and they're not taking a responsibility, and you're seeing a whole lot of cognitive dissonance. We're seeing and hearing a whole lot of victimizing, victimship mentalities, right? So, what is true accountability, right? And the better question is, why are you allowing it? This is the better question. Not just surface level things, right? Not just surface level things. Hi, Velvet Jones. How are you, my love? Not just surface level things, right? And so, if let's, hypothetically speaking, right? This is one of the conversations that are going on, right? Why women are not submissive, why men are not the leaders that they're supposed to be, why people are extreme, some I dare to say more than what we would like to see, why many people are unhappy in relationships, especially romantic relationships, right? Platonic relationships, the relationships that we have with our family, the relationships we have with our loved ones, right? And this can be the parent to child relationship, the child to parent relationship, the sibling relationship, right? This can be the spouse relation in a spouse relationship. I'm talking about relationships in general, not just romantic relationships. A better question is, why are we why do we continue to allow people to mistreat us? Why do we feel we have to bear so many burdens, especially unnecessary burdens and unnecessary weight? Why do we feel we have to continually repeat ourselves? Why is it that we are continually demanding respect, right? Why is it that we are continually forcing people to treat us in the way that we ought to be treated, especially if you are a righteous, pure being, especially if you move about life in a righteous and just manner, in a fair manner? Why are we hooping and hollering and screaming, right? Why are we doing all of these things, right? And so many of the conversations and with much of the rhetoric that's going around, right? We're not really getting into the core. So when we talk about justifying poor behaviors, why do you feel, why do you think you have to remain in a partnership or any type of relationship with a person that constantly disrespects you? Right? With a person that constantly violates your boundaries, your standards, your negotiables, your non-negotiables. And the answer is in what I just said. Why? The core reason why many of us have not a clue of what our standards are. Not only are we not setting them, we're not standing firm in them. Many of us don't have healthy boundaries set, and we're not standing in those boundaries as well. And so when you're asking the question, why have many of us become desensitized to poor behaviors? These are the reasons why, right? I'm glad you're doing good, Velvet, right? These are some of the reasons why the majority of us have become desensitized to being treated poorly, right? Worthless, right? Yet we're demanding this of others. And then a lot of us have become so overwhelmed. We become frustrated. We become hopeless. We become pessimistic about things, extremely negative about things, right? Because it has been going on for years and years and years and years for some of us, to where many of us is just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna stay single for the rest of my time here on this earth, right? I'm never going to receive love, right? I'm gonna constantly engage in dysfunction, unhealthy relationships, unhealthy conversations, so I might as well just bitch about it, right? I might as well just keep having unhealthy conversations about it, right? Becoming desensitized, non-responsive. Why do you think you become so non-responsive to poor behavior, right? But then we're complaining about it, right? And what we don't realize is the effects that's happening within our bodies. We don't realize the effects that's happening with our mental. We don't realize the effects that is having with our immune system, right? We don't really understand, especially the laws and principles of the universe of cause and effect. We don't really understand behavioral analytics, right? And all of these things are important because they have a lot to do with you, especially those of us who are constantly saying we want better. And that's beautiful. We want greater. I don't know not one person that's in their right mind that will say, I don't want greater for me. I don't want greater for my children. I don't want greater for my loved ones. I don't want greater. I don't want more or of whatever it is. And that could mean more peace. That could mean more health. That can mean more wealth. It could mean more vitality. It can mean all of these different things. However, when you have connected to people who are constantly pushing the borders and the boundaries of your non-negotiables, right? People who are pushing the borders of respect, people who are constantly violating you in a multitude of different ways, this affects you attracting and pulling towards whatever it is good that you actually want to attract in your life, right? And so the question is, why do you think you become so desensitized? Why do you accept people's poor behaviors, especially when it comes down to you? Why do you accept people mistreating you, especially when it comes to romantic relationships? And I'm going to get into the core reasons why a little further within the show, within the lesson. They're hurting you, right? You're hurting. You're hurting mentally, you're hurting spiritually, you're hurting physically, you're hurting financially, right? You're hurting mentally, you're hurting in so many different ways. And you are continually making the conscious choice to stay within that thing, whatever it is. So let's talk about some unhealthy issues as to why many of us are justifying people treating us poorly, people disrespecting us, people dishonoring us, right? Let's start with individuals don't really know who they are, right? Ashe Pharaoh, thank you so much. Let's start with that. Let's start with a lot of us don't remember who we are. A lot of us are not tapped into higher conscious awareness. A lot of us simply think we are the vehicle, we are the avatar. A lot of us think that we're the car, right? A lot of us think that a lot of us think only the physical aspects of who you are. What's the physical part? What does the physical part include? Taste, touch, sight, seeing, smelling, right? And that's all we're going off of. That's all we're building our reality off of, right? And that has nothing to do with the essence of you. That's not where your power lies, right? What happens when you starve something? I often say all the time, for those of you who are familiar with me, what you feed will gain power and what you starve will lose its power, right? And we have to start with who we are at our core essence. We are frequency, we are energy, we are magnetic. Do you understand what I'm saying? We are the infinite source of power. However, just because you are inherited with this power, just because you share the same essence and oneness with the infinite source of creation, with this infinite power, some of you call that God. How can you be a part of something or someone that is so powerful, yet you don't really understand who you are? Specifically the power that you have, the authority that you have. So when it comes to you becoming desensitized to people treating you poorly or you treating yourself poorly, you must first understand that you don't know as much as you think you know about who you are. Because I don't know how many people who actually have power, who actually have authority and walk around like they're powerless, walk around like they're the victim, walk around and allow people to disrespect them and dishonor them and treat them any kind of way, especially when you are the one paying the cost. When you're the one paying the cost mentally, when you're the one that's self-destructing within, right? That doesn't sound like a powerful person. That doesn't sound like a person that understands who they are. That doesn't sound like a person that knows their worth, right? Thinking that you are worthy, speaking that you are worthy, and acting as if you're worthy is three different things, entirely different things. And then demanding people treat you according to your worth is entirely different. And right now we have a whole bunch of respect me. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a king, I'm a queen, I'm a god, I'm a goddess. Let me tell you something. True power does not ask. It confidently, right? With conviction, demands. There's no arguing back and forth. Your persona and your energy should lead before you always. There's no argument. It's a simple It's a simple removal of yourself or the removal of that person. But we don't allow people to come into our lives and treat us any kind of way, especially if you understood what it actually is doing to you. Because as living infinite organisms, one of our primary purposes, and we spoke about this in your live Pharaoh earlier, right? When you asked the question, what is your purpose, right? And I know that one of our purposes on this realm, if you are a living infinite being, a living organism, indisputable fact, right? If you are not expanding, if you are not evolving, if you are not growing, you are literally self-destructing within. Do you think many of us are losing our ever-loving minds for no reasons? Yes. Facts. Wisdom starts at acknowledging what you don't know. Ashe. It's the beginning of everything, and it's okay. And I get it. I get it. There's so many systems that have been put in place for our demise as a setup. We have been conditioned and programmed for years and years and years and centuries that we're still dealing with today. Many of us are just unaware. So many of us are just unaware of it. So I get that we were programmed and conditioned to think that we're just this physical avatar. I get that we were just programmed to think that we need to allow someone to slap both sides of your cheek. I understand that we've been conditioned to humble ourselves, to make ourselves subservient to another person's insecurities and lack thereof. I get that we have been conditioned with Eurocentric philosophies and dogmas and ideologies and concepts that were never created from our divine essence. They were never created to help us evolve and mature and grow and expand. They were created to destroy us. However, there are no justifiable excuses now in these days. And this is what I mean. We have to understand who we are. We have to understand where we are. We have to understand frequencies. We have to understand a little bit about a lot of things. I always say I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about a lot of things, right? Where are we with the planetary alignment? Many of you just hear that, oh, we're in the age of Aquarius, but you don't really understand what that means. In this day and time and space, there are literally no rhyme, reasons, or justifications as to why we are still accepting and allowing people to treat us poorly, right? So let's go through the list of reasons of why some of us have become desensitized to other people's poor behaviors when it comes down to us, and why we are sometimes allowing ourselves to act poorly, right? To act unjustly, to act foolish, to act ignorant, to act unintelligent, to act unbecoming of the God or goddess we say we are, to act other than the king or queen we say we are, right? There's no excuses. And so I'm going to list these things, and they are in no particular order. One of those reasons is because we lack confidence. We lack confidence. We have been taught and programmed to submit to literally, and I say this respectfully, people, places, and things that are really inferior. When you understand the things that I speak of, right? We walk around with our head down. We walk around like we don't have an army of ancestral power running through our veins and that are all around us. We walk around like we are the victim. We walk around like we are powerless, and we think the louder we project our voices, we think the more we speak a certain things that inherently that's going to allow you to walk in the confidence that you need to walk in, right? If any of you are familiar with the what was that what was that movie with Atreo? Mm, someone help me out. It wasn't that, it wasn't A Land Before Time, with the flying dragon, with the infinite. I'll get back to that. I'm not remembering. Thank you so much for the follow, my love, right? Anyway, there's a scene in this movie where Atreo had to go through the Sphinx, right? And the Sphinx represented, in a metaphysical sense, they represented the Gemini twins. They represented divine duality. They represented divine polarity. And no one can go cross, meaning no one can reach their higher level of ascension, right? No one can reach higher levels of conscious awareness unless you are confident going through the twin gates. Because the minute this energy, this Gemini energy, the minute the universe, right? The minute people smell your lack of confidence, guess what? They're going to destroy you. It's going to destroy you. And you seen as Atreo was going through the twin portals, right? The Gemini twins, he was going towards the Sphinx where he was going to be judged on many things. You can see at the beginning he started to hesitate, right? And so the eyes were shut on the Sphinx, but the minute the Sphinx felt a lack of confidence, the minute the Sphinx felt that Atreo was complacent and experiencing cognitive dissonance, right? The minute they experienced, they started opening their eyes, ready to shoot their beams to destroy him, right? And so he had to rev himself up to actually run through the Sphinx. He had to muster up the confidence. The only way you are going to put yourself in a position to receive the worth that you deserve, to receive the respect that you want to reserve, that you want and deserve, right? Is if you have the confidence to speak, if you have the confidence to not be subservient, if you are not a people pleaser, right? Because many of us are people pleasing to our own detriment. We're so worried about other people's peace of mind. We're so worried about other people's happiness and joy. We're so worried about others' physical well-being at the detriment to where we are literally self-destructing and falling apart, right? Oh, but as long as you're happy, as long as you smile, even if I'm hurting inside, even if I'm mentally distorted, right? That's not having confidence. And so one of the core reasons why many of us have become desensitized to people's poor behaviors, right, even of ourselves, is because we lack the necessary confidence that's needed, right? We lack the necessary confidence that's needed. Another reason is some of us are just hopeless, right? We don't feel we deserve to be treated with respect. We don't feel we deserve greater. So we choose the lesser. Let me say that again. We lack hope. We're hopeless. We don't feel we deserve greater. Some of us inwardly, perhaps unknowingly, feel that we are less deserving. So we choose the lesser. And then we wonder why we find ourselves in all types of dysfunctional, unhealthy relationships, whether it is with your children, whether it's with your a family member, whether it is with your spouse, right? I just mentored a lady, right? And she says that she's been in a relationship for 20 plus years. 20 plus years, and the weight, she says, of her significant other, her husband, continuing to treat her poorly, continuing to disrespect her, right? Lack of confidence, lack of hope. You mean to tell me for 20 plus, let's take it back. Even 1 year. You mean to tell me that you feel that you're respected, that you're worthy, that you're valued, right? And then you allow yourself to stay in a situation or attached to someone simply because of a title, simply because of, and I'll say this respectfully, because of children, because of money. You allow yourself to stay in these circumstances, in these situations for what? And it's costing you everything, right? It's literally costing you everything. So you either know you deserve to be treated with respect and with honor, with integrity. You either know that you yourself operate with respect, with honor and integrity, or you just don't. Some things are literally black and white. Some things are a yay or nay. Some things don't have a gray area where you get to play in, right? Because some of those gray areas are extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. And we're listening to misguided, uninformed, low vibrational individuals who continually pump your head up with these concepts and philosophies and behaviors that says it doesn't matter what you think. Continue to get whatever you can out of him or her. Continue to mistreat him or her. Continue to be selfish with him or her. Continue to take with him or her. Continue to abuse that person mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and financially, as long as it's serving your purpose. Playing in that gray area, not knowing how dangerous it is. A lot of y'all think that gray area is a sandbox, and it's really quicksand. Only you don't realize how fast you're sinking, right? There are some people who play them games, who play in that sandbox, in that gray area for so long, and they're not here to tell you that you should literally go in the opposite direction, that you should literally take some time and reevaluate why you keep accepting poor behaviors from people, why you become so emotionless and so desensitized to people treating you with such disrespect and dishonoring you. But they're not here in a physical form to tell you this. We literally have so many examples as to why we should not take certain paths. And yet we're taking those very same paths. And not only that, we're jumping on the bandwagon just as fast as the wheels are rolling. All because it sounds good. All because it's polarized. All because it may be popular. And it's not. We're literally listening to women hoop and holler about it's a single lady life, it's a single lady life. We're literally listening to men diminish, degrade women, mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, the divine oracles. We're literally witnessing women emasculate men, degrade them, dehumanize them. Shame, and it's on both sides. And we like, yay, speak girl, speak boy. Yeah, come on here and join the club. You know what those clubs are really for? Your destruction, quicksand. Yeah, Sticky. We all gonna see one day, right? And so as long as I'm here, I'm gonna come before you and teach you and give you higher perspectives, gives you some things to actually think about. Facts. Fact, is it pronounced Shayla? I don't want to mispronounce your name. Is it Shayla, my love? Right? And so we have to understand this. You gain some confidence, right? Many of us have Sheila. Okay, thank you so much, my love. I appreciate it, because I see you supporting, and I see you engaging, and I always like to address, those of you who are here, right? I appreciate you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much for correcting me. Right? Many of us, another reason why, and think we're talking about justifying poor behaviors of others and of ourselves. We're making excuses for why we're being a parakeets, for why we keep hooping and hollering about people respecting us, right? And so I'm here to give you the why, the psychological reason behind your why, because you need to understand why you keep doing the things that you're doing. Not only when it comes to acting below or beneath who you were created to be, as I define it, right? My philosophy. But also, you need to understand the why and how you can continually attract all of what and who you desire. And another reason why, especially, but we're going to focus on the poor behavior part because a lot of us are in that process. A lot of us are suffering. A lot of us are in so many unhealthy relationships, right? So another reason is because there, at some point in time, there was a shift in your priorities. There was a shift. Candy, thank you so much for the follow, my love. There was a shift in your priorities. Sheila, thank you so much for sharing the live. I appreciate you. Right? Another reason why many of us have become desensitized to poor behaviors, or why we justify poor behaviors, is because there was a shift in our priorities. You are no longer your priority. Your happiness is no longer your priority. Your well-being is no longer your priority. Your self-development is no longer your priority. Your elevation and expansion is no longer your priority. Your priority is everything and everybody else. What are you prioritizing in your life? It would, if you had a list of priorities from 1 to 10, many of us, if we're transparently honest, many of us are in the area of 8, 9, or 10. When you really should be numero uno. You really should be number one. Sweet thing, let me tell you about the world and the way things are, yeah. You come from a different place, and I know you travel far. Da-da, 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 da-da. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? The Wiz. She's the Wiz, and she lives in universe. Da, da. The Wiz. Very, very popular movie, full of wisdom. Right? Where are you on your priority list? What things are you prioritizing over yourself? What people are you prioritizing over yourself, right? Because many of us, we come last. Work comes first, money comes first, right? Our careers come first, children come first, right? Everything secular comes first. Fixing what we need to fix, right? All the materialistic things, the upkeep of all of our material possessions come first. Your car come first, the home fixings come first. Your co-workers come first, your managers, your bosses, even your employees, they come first. Everybody comes first before you, right? And so another reason why we've become desensitized to poor behaviors, justifying poor behaviors, even when it comes to ourselves, is that there was a shift in your priorities. And it is high time that you sat yourself down and reevaluated, where are your priorities? Who are on your priority list? Where are you on your priority list? Marvin, listen, that's still one of my favorite movies in the whole wide world. Hey, your lie. How are you, my love? Yes. Where are you on your priority list? Why aren't you first? Why doesn't your overall well-being means everything to you? Why doesn't your health mean everything to you? Why isn't your health number one? Why isn't your mental wellness number one? Why isn't your dreams and your hopes, why isn't that number one? Why is somebody's happiness and their joy and their success is number one in your life? Why is your car first? Why is your home first? Why is your children first? Why does everyone supersede you? Why do you feel the need to continually Empty out everything that's in your glass. Everything. Without demanding that you yourself make sure that you're in overflow. And when you're not, you know how to retreat. Priorities. There's been a shift in your priorities. Why doesn't your joy and your happiness come first? Why doesn't your relaxation come first? Why doesn't you getting proper sleep and rest come first? Why does money come first? Because what good is it if you gain all of these things, right? And you lose your very essence, you lose your soul, you're misplaced mentally if you're completely self-destructing and imploding. What good is it that you are so adamant about putting everybody else and everything else first? And you're miserable. For the sake of what? To say, I have this, I have that, I have a man, I have a woman, I have a husband, I have a wife, I have money in my bank account, I can go. What good is it if you're not physically, mentally, spiritually, energetically able to have the vitality that's necessary and the joy to be able to experience it and cultivate it? What good is it? Reshift your priorities. Take some time to figure out where you are on your priority list, right? And for many of us, social media is number one. Social media is number 1, 2, and 3, sometimes 1 through 10. We on social media when we rise. We on social media when we rest. From sun up to sundown, you're on social media. Nothing is private. Nothing is sacred. Where are you on your priority list? Nothing is sacred. Everything you're doing is on social media. Do you understand what's happening to you? Do you understand that your aura field is weak? And you wonder why you react to certain people, places, and things the way you do. You wonder why people are so reactive and so explosive. You're weak. There's no strength and no power in you. Your glass is empty. There's no vitality in it. There's no love in it, no genuine love, right? Right? There's no authentic smiles in it. There's no authentic and genuine, I'm okay, because many of us are not. Many of us are not. Right? You everywhere else but with yourself. Everywhere else but with yourself. Where are you on your priorities list? Because when you are in a position, when you are in a state, when you are in the environment, right? When you are connected with people and you allow them to cause you mental dysfunction, spiritual dysfunction, when you are diseased, uncomfortable, feeling overwhelmed, why do they take precedence over you? Yes, Pharaoh, Ashe. Why do they take precedence over you? When do you actually sit yourself down? Some of us don't even know what physically what we prioritizing. You prioritize social media. Some of us all day, every day, right? Reshift your priorities, because let me tell you something. If you continue down the path that you're going, a lot of you are going to miss the boat. A lot of you are going to descend instead of ascend. A lot of you are going to continually devolve instead of evolve. Right? And as many people that are talking about, we're in this infinite eighth life cycle. It's beautiful. It's the year of intelligence. It is not the year, well, the year 2, which New Year's is coming up real soon, right? New Year's was not January 1st. That's like a little side nugget for you. Wink, wink. Right? New Year's is coming up, right? New life springs in spring, not winter. And so as we enter this new beautiful life cycle, 8 cycle, and it's so significant because number 8 is my life path number, right? So this is a phenomenal year for me and a phenomenal year for many of you. However, getting back to the focus, many of us have heard that we're entering into this beautiful new 8 life cycle, right? I'm not going to go into the meaning of all of that, right? And it also comes with abundance of all things you want, need, and or desire. It can, right? It comes with greater awareness, right? It comes with all of these beautiful things. It comes with manifesting more. It comes with, and it all can be true if you position yourself for. You know what else it comes with? Great exposure. Do you not understand? Are you not paying attention with these reflectors of all of these systems that are crashing? Do you not understand what is going on around the world with the tsunamis and the earthquakes, right? And the demolition and the explosions above and below? Are we not paying attention to all of these things going on? Are we not literally seeing people, right, who are unrighteous and unjust, right, who have done and still doing the most heinous and horrific things? Do you not see that they are literally crashing before our eyes? Never in the history of time where all of these things have been exposed and polarized like they are. Never in the history of time do we then that many of us can literally see, hear all of the destruction that is going on around you, because it used to be that the quote unquote elites, everything was in secret, everything was underground, everything was unknown. Everything is literally being exposed right before your eyes, and you think you can continually play games with yourself and play games with this quote unquote God, play games with the universe, with universal principles and laws. You think you can continually allow people to mistreat you and disrespect you. You think that you yourself can keep on going how you're going, and there will be no consequences for you, baby. There's going to come a time when each and every one of us is put in the limelight. You think TD Jakes is the only one that been on that stage in that clear glass house, right? Where everybody to see and is exposed. You think they were the only ones being exposed? You think Oprah and all of these other people are being exposed for no reason? You think all these pedophiles are being exposed for no reason? You think all the unjust systems and unrighteous systems is being exposed for no reason? The destruction that you see, that we're seeing, it's supposed to take place. But the ignorance of some of us think that, oh, that's happening to everybody else. That ain't going to happen to me. That ain't going to happen to me. I can keep living the life I've been living. I can continually self-destruct and nothing going to happen to me. I can keep living the way I'm living. I can keep not putting myself first. I can keep feeding everybody else but myself, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and financially. Oh yeah, your time is coming too, my loves. Your time is coming. How you're put on display, how all of your endeavors that was in the dark, that was done in the dark, okay, how you're going to be exposed is very different, right? The exposing is going to be different for all of us, dependent on the capacity and the level and the weight of your every decision and choice. And if you think you can continually make choices that are not becoming and befitting of your higher self, of you operating in your higher self, you have another thing coming, because this is not only a beautiful year of abundance of all things as beautiful and great. This is not only the beautiful 8th path year and life cycle of infinite, right? Infinities of beautiful opportunities, right? This is also the year of exposure, of unveiling. Change your ways, my love. Prioritize you. Prioritize your well-being. Stop caring so much of what other people think, of what society think, of what people are always going to have things to say. However, choose you. and choosing, you making the conscious choice to choose to put you first, to make you number one and cultivate that number one spot, is going to benefit you in so many ways. So many ways. Because the opposite of you not choosing you is you're going to continually self-destruct. We're seeing this all day, every day. We're seeing people literally lose their ever-loving minds, selling their morals, their values, their righteousness, what some people say, selling their souls for so many things that you will never be able to take with you in the next life. The here and now is not only what matters. Everything you do, every decision you make, especially when you're not making a decision to choose you, matters. There's going to come a time where the universal law of cause and effect is going to put you in that limelight and righteously judge you for every decision you make. It doesn't matter whether you made a decision in ignorance or bliss. It doesn't matter whether you was informed or uninformed. It does not matter. The universe does not care if you're ignorant or if you're knowledgeable. It does not care if you're aware or unaware. You're going to get the same smoke that everybody else get. You're going to have to get the same smoke that everybody else get. You're going to be weighed no matter what. So you can continually claim ignorance. You can continually justify why you're allowing people to put you 6 feet below, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, energetically, financially. You can continually make excuses and blames and continually be the victim and continually people pleasing. However, the day will come when you're going to have to pay for every decision you're making, right? And a lot of you are making decisions that your ass can't cash. It's going to hurt many of you. However, why not start to change those behaviors now when you actually have the opportunity, when you're actually in a right state of mind, when you actually have the vitality, when you actually have the energy, when you actually have the opportunities, when you actually are afforded with the gift of breath? Why not change your ways now when you have the physical mobility to do so? Why not change your ways now when you have every ample opportunity to do so? Is it going to cost you something? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's always going to be cause and effect. You get what you give. The law of attraction states that what you get, you give. What you give, you get in return. So understand the process of you making a new choice. Understand the process of you no longer accepting people's poor behaviors. Understand the process, because when it comes down to it, yes, you're going to receive some resistance. Yes, you're going to experience some cognitive dissonance. Yes, you're going to receive some repellent. It's going to be why? Because your body and your mind was programmed to do the opposite. And when you understand the process of you changing your ways, you also understand that just because you make a profound decision to go in the right path today does not mean that you are not going to have to bear the weight of every choice that you made in your past. But maturity and responsibility and higher states of awareness and perspectives allows you to stand firm even in that. It allows you to stand firm and confident and know that, listen, I made these decisions and I'm going to stand in it. I'm going to stand upright in it, as we say, stand 10 toes in it, because you stood 10 toes in it when you was making all them foolish choices. You stood 10 toes up when you was allowing that man or that woman to disrespect you. You stood 10 toes in when you played the victim. So stand 10 toes in it when now you're becoming the victor. Stand 10 toes in it when now you have to reverse the process. Stand 10 toes in it when you're building up your confidence and your resiliency. Stand in it. Don't waver, don't fall. It's a part of the natural process, my loves. Don't run from it. You don't have to be scared of it. It's just a universal principle and laws, and no one can escape it. Not you, not no one. It don't matter how much money you have in the bank. It don't matter how many cars you have. No one can escape cause and effect. No one. Not you, not me, my love. And so the more you're aware of who you are at your core, the more you become aware of the processes that is going to happen, that you're going to undergo when you move from one position to the next position, when you move from being the victim to the victor, when you move from being hopeless to hopeful, when you move from being limited to limitless. Yes, there's a process that comes with that. You're not a bag of popcorn, my love. You can't nuke your way in 3 minutes to where you want to be. There's some steps and some procedures and processes that you're going to have to undergo. It's all a process. Peace, Omega. How are you, my love? Peace, bro. Right? Curve Appeal. How are you, my love? Hi. Many of us are justifying other people's poor behaviors towards us and accepting our own poor behaviors, right? Because we have become accepting of less than. We feel we are not deserving of, which is why I said, I'll say it again, we choose lesser. Many of you are choosing in a romantic sense when it comes to dating. Many of us are choosing men and women who we know cannot and will not dare to judge us in many ways because you psychologically think that they too are beneath the lack that you're in, right? Many of us choose mates that is going to validate what we lack, right? So we'll say when you look at a man, prime example, this is something that happens. Some of us women will look at a certain caliber of man, will look at certain attributes of a man, will look at a certain man, look at certain men with certain characteristic traits, right? And we'll say, oh, he's out of my league. Or men and women, oh, she's out of my league. Why? Why are they out of why are they out of your league? Have you ever asked yourself, like really been transparently honest with yourself and asked yourself, why is that man or woman out your league? I'll tell you why. Because I'm here to tell you the undesirable truth, not the desirable truth, because many of us been sucking on lollipops for way too long. And we just all sweet, all sensitive. Don't tell me the truth. It hurts. It's bitter. Okay. I don't want medicinal medicine. Right. The truth behind that is you don't feel you're deserving of that man because he's in shape and you're not. You don't feel you're deserving of that woman because she's in shape and you're not. You don't feel you're deserving of that man because he has a certain type, a certain mindset, a certain intelligence, and you feel you lack intelligence and information. You don't feel you're deserving of that man or woman is because they have a certain career and they have a certain status and you don't feel like you measure up to them. A lot of us are choosing people are so easily accepting to poor behaviors because we inwardly lack the self-esteem, the courage, the intelligence, the information, right? The wisdom, the guidance, right? We lack all of these things. So what do? We choose someone who we think is beneath us. We choose someone who doesn't give a damn about their health, who is out of shape and overweight, right? Because what? We're out of shape and overweight. So of course I'm not going to choose a man that's in a gym every day, all day when I'm just out of shape, right? He's not going to choose me. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Do you deserve or do you not? Right? Do you deserve or do you not? And if you're feeling you're undeserving, do something about it. But don't keep choosing the lesser because the lesser is destroying you. Don't keep accepting behaviors from other people because you're not holding up to standards and standards, right? And boundaries that you should have for yourself. Right? Sit down. Sit down, retract, pull back. Get out the game. Because meanwhile, you think you're winning. You're not. You're only fooling yourself, my love. Right? Yes, Tasha, accountability. We have to understand this. We have to get to a place where we're confident and we're respecting ourselves and we understand what self-actualizing is. We understand what self-full love is. We understand what being when we need to be selfish and when we need to be selfish and when we need to be self-full. We understand these things. And when you do, you take accountability and responsibility to be like, you know what? I'm allowing way too much of this to go on. I'm repeating myself way too much as if you're a damn parakeet. If you demand respect, demand it. Don't keep talking about it. If you demand that man or woman to have integrity, don't keep talking about it. The minute that he or she shows you the opposite, have the strength and the courage and the self-respect and the dignity, honor, and integrity to walk away, move away. Because the longer you stay in it, the more you self-destruct, the more you devolve, right? The more you decline, the more your insecurities get stronger, the more your lack of confidence gets stronger, the lower your self-esteem goes. What you feed will gain power, and what you starve will lose its power. And every decision you make, you're feeding something. And then many of us are feeding the wrong people, places, and things. We're feeding the wrong ideologies. We're feeding the wrong concepts. We're feeding the wrong philosophies. We're feeding the wrong mentalities. We're feeding the wrong spiritualities. We're feeding the wrong individuals. And we're wondering why they are so powerful. We're wondering why they have such a grip on us. I'm telling you the reasons why. Lack of confidence. You have lost hope. There was a shift in your priorities where you're no longer first, you're number 9. And you feel you're not deserving of greater. Pardon me, one minute, my loves. Hey, son. You good? Oh, son. Oh, well, listen. Well, listen. When one door closes, is what it means is that the other door has opened. So don't be discouraged, son. Just joy. Keep your energies high because that's what it means. Nothing happens in your life to you; it happens for you. And if that door closes, it means that you have energetically aligned yourself to open that another door to get to your next level. So rejoice. Yeah, yeah, you know I got you. I got you. Always, always. I'm always there for you, son. No matter what. Yeah, just a reminder, hold your head up high, stand in it, okay? Because another door is about to open and that you allow yourself, it's gonna be so much greater. So much greater. Just expect that. Keep that coming to you. Keep that coming to you. Yes, you're gonna hear back from whoever you need to hear back because everything that happens in your life is purposed. Okay, just keep them high vibes going. Don't let discouragement. Don't let none of that shit seep in. Okay. Cool. Cool. Hmm. You know what? You know what? I'm actually on live. I'm teaching right now, and it's being recorded. Because my priorities are straight. Okay, I gotta find out whether you good or not. My priorities are straight. And it's beautiful because we just got I'm speaking on priorities, right? And so yeah, you're one of my priorities. So the people, the family over here and the YouTube world and the TikTok land, they understand. Okay, I got to make sure you good. But now that I know you good, you smiling, you laughing, we can continue this conversation when I get off live. I love you too. He said, "Thank you for taking the time. I love you. Love you too. Talk to you soon. Peace." Okay, thank you so much for your patience. Listen, had to make sure, I don't gotta make sure my baby's okay. I got three sons, S-U-N, right? Um, so where was I? Where did we leave off, right? Where are you in your priority? Oh, there you go. Right now, he just hopped on. They understand, love. It's okay. Just a little pause, a little break. Okay, it's okay. Thank you so much. So priorities. Some of us have to reshape our priorities. You have to put yourself first. And most times that require you to sit down and reevaluate where you are on your priority list. And I understand a lot of us are not in a position right now, currently, where we can just turn away, walk away, or leave. I understand that too. However, there is nothing that is stopping you from making an exit plan, making an exit plan. This is prioritizing you. Yes,